Hey guys, and welcome back to No Longer Hidden. My name is Shayna Marie, and I am back with another word from the Lord. Please take me back to God. Take this word back to God. Also, make sure that you know what season you are in. Don't take a word because it sounds good. Don't take a word because you think that it's your time. Please always make sure you know where you are, what season you're in. This is an urgent word. This is a right now word. And this is also an urgent word. So a few nights ago, I had a dream. And I was on this plane. And as I was on the plane with my son and my mother, we ended up, all of a sudden, we ended up landing. But in that part of the dream, when the doors start opening up on either side for us to come off, I didn't know we landed. So as I was trying to come off of the plane, the steward came over and he just started speaking to me. And I was looking forward, and I see that my son was just moving. He just kept going. And as for me, I'm also the only one on the plane with the steward, and I'm like looking at him and I'm talking to him, and I said, hey, I gotta catch my flight. I gotta go. And as I'm telling him that, the doors are also closing. So finally I got away, and as soon as I come off of the plane, I ended up in the terminals. And as I'm doing that, I see my son, and he's close. But for some reason I couldn't call his name. And as I'm approaching my son and I got close, I got distracted again. And as I got distracted, these were people that were from the same city that I was from. But at that point, I knew I was in Texas. I don't know if that's confirmation for someone, but I was in Texas. I landed in Texas. And I was talking to them. And as I'm talking to them, I see that my son is getting further and further away from me. So I kept running. I just started running. And I was trying to catch up to my son. And my son ended up where the promise was. My son got to the promise before I did. Okay? So here's what I'm saying to you guys, and this is what God gave me. The revelation that God gave me was, a lot of you don't even know that you are right where He needs you to be. You have landed spiritually or physically. You are right where you need to be for God to birth that promise that He has for you, no matter how long it's been. As long as you know that this is the season that God says that this promise is going to come to pass, then you are right where you need to be. Pay attention, focus. Now, when it comes to the steward and those people that I had something in common with, God is saying, do not be distracted. Do not be distracted. I kept seeing the number 722, and 722 means to plow. When I looked up the meaning of the word plow, what it really means is when a farmer will go ahead and dig up the dirt to plant a seed. Now, these distractions are going to be sent from the enemy, as well as they're trying to plant a seed for you to, what's the word I'm looking for, you guys? For you guys to forfeit the blessing. For you guys to miss what God has for you. If I wasn't vigilant enough to say, hey, I gotta go. If I wasn't looking away from the things that were distracting me, I wouldn't have seen the doors closing up for me to know, hey, I gotta go. But I also didn't know that I've already been in my promised land. I didn't know because I was so distracted. God is saying, focus. Focus on Him. Stay close to Him. Now is the time to be at the Lord's feet, as well as it's time for you to start blocking, rebuking, renouncing, denouncing every sneak attack, every tactic of the enemy. Put on the full armor of God and please Psalm 91 over your lives. Now is the time that the promise is about to give birth. Now is the time for you to stay focused. Now is not the time for you to grow weary. Now is not the time for you to give up. Now is not the time for you to fall for the counterfeit. If those of you who are standing for your husband, now is not the time to fall or settle for that house when God promised you a bigger house. Now is not time for you to settle for that car when you know that God has a better car for you. Now is not the time to give up. Now is the time to focus on God. Now is the time to fast and pray and really focus on what God has for you. If you know that things are falling apart, but you also know that your blessing is near, please understand that that is a tactic of the enemy. Pray, pray, and stay at the Lord's feet. Again, take this word back to God and ask God if this word is for you, if this is your season, if this is your time. Okay? As well as you are fighting in the spirit and making sure that you stay armored up, you need to prepare for what God has for you. If God says that man is coming or that wife is coming, you need to prepare. However that looks for you, you need to prepare. If God says that you're about to get the house, start packing those things up. Start getting rid of the things that you don't want to put in your new house. If you have if a car is a part of the blessing that God has for you, then you know how to prepare for that car. Whatever it is that you know that it is in due season at this moment for you to receive, because God has been giving you confirmation. This is not going to be a new word for you, but this is going to be a confirmation for you. It's a time for you to prepare. Now is the time for you to stay prepared and not be distracted. Do not be distracted by what the enemy is trying to throw at you. And also, stay quiet. Be quiet. Okay, guys? Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.